Wade Rouse, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. It's like old home week.
Yeah, so tell me about yourself. Are you from the Ozarks?
I am. I grew up in a tiny, tiny little town called Granby, Missouri. It's about an hour southwest of Springfield, kind of right in the corner of Missouri, Arkansas. And yeah, grew up there. My mother went to Drury, where I went undergrad. And, I came from a really working poor family. My grandmother, I write fiction under her name, Viola Shipman, was um, a working poor seamstress. She never finished high school. She never learned to drive. And she rolled pennies and saved change so that my mother could go to college and kind of change the course of our life. So she kind of embodied in me the importance of reading and books and education from the earliest of ages. So yeah, I still tie so much of my history to the Ozarks.
Wow, that's an incredible story. So speaking of your grandmother, you said that that is your pen name.
Yeah, it's my pen name, which is, I know it sounds very Victor Victoria in kind of a literary way, but she was overlooked in her time. She, being poor, not going to higher education, she really didn't have a voice in this world. But I listened to her and I heard her. She was the kindest woman I've ever met. She was the strongest woman I've ever known. She truly changed the course of my family's life, and I owe everything to her. And my whole reason behind choosing her name as my pen name was that even though her name was not said during her life, it will be said forever now. And I hope that people reconnect to their histories and their families as a result of that.
You've created a legacy and a wonderful tribute to your grandmother.
Thank you. I hope so. That's exactly what I wanted. Nobody listened to her voice, but I certainly did growing up.
Yeah, for sure. So how many books have you written as Viola Shipman?
It's up to 12 now, 12 novels. And before that, I started as a memoirist. I wrote nonfiction and I wrote 5 memoirs before transitioning. And, I just felt a calling to kind of honor women like my grandmother and my mother, really strong women um, from the Ozarks who kind of get knocked down by life, but get up and soldier on with as much faith and, heart as they can muster. So it's all of the books are really a tribute to them. And also my grandmother's heirlooms and life lessons and, really focusing on the things that bring us together instead of divide us anymore.
Well, congratulations on writing so many books. Would the page turner be the 12th?
It is, yeah, subtle hint. Yeah, it comes out April 8th, and it's really, really my love letter to my grandmother. It's about how books and reading saved my life growing up. It's about using your voice in this world to be heard so you could change not only the world, but those around you. It's about judgment that we place on people in society without knowing anything about what's inside simply by a look at the cover. It's about being an author today and the challenges that we face. But mostly it's just about, if you love books, this is a book about books and how truly they save our lives and change us.
It's a book for the bookworms, and I have it here.
Yay!
Here it is. So, can you tell me a little bit about the premise of this book for those who don't know?
Yeah, it's about a young college grad who grew up in a very kind of elitist literary family. They're authors. Her parents are authors. They own a press in New York called the Mighty Pages. And she's always grown up reading with her grandmother, much like I did, kind of reading what's called fluff. Kind of the books that I used to pluck off the rounders at the grocery store with my grandmother that we would read together. And her parents kind of consider that less than literature. And it changed her life because she read it with her grandmother and she loved kind of the connection she felt. And during college, she wrote a book. She wrote a romance, which is a horror story for her because she doesn't want to tell her parents. And she kind of retreats after college to her grandmother, who she calls her Gigi, summer cottage. And she kind of finds comfort there with all of the books that they used to read together. And while she's there, kind of trying to gather the courage to tell her parents about her own book, she finds a secret hidden away in her grandmother's cottage that has the potential not only to upend her parents' literary careers in their publishing house, but also gets in the hand of a kind of a not so nice misogynistic author who tries to rule her world. So it's really about finding strength. It's about finding your voice in this world. My grandmother used to always tell me that I had a voice. She goes, you've got your own unique voice, and that will change the world. The secret is finding the power to use it, because we all grow up kind of trying to diminish our uniqueness just to fit in. And this book is about finding the strength to love yourself.
Well, I can't wait to see what the future holds for you and all your books. So, Wade, thank you so much. And pick up the page turner. It's a real page turner.